guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and you know, when I hear the phrase as American as apple pie, it just warms me up from the inside out. Because I think apple pie is the quintessential American home dessert. It screams home to me, it's so delicious, and we all know and love it. And today, that's exactly what we're gonna make. We're gonna make it from scratch, we're gonna make it so easy, so simple, it's gonna make your house smell incredible, and everybody's gonna love it. Okay, let's go over the ingredients so we can get started. You're going to need some golden delicious apples, some sugar, a little egg wash, some orange zest, a little cinnamon sugar, some ground cinnamon, salt, nutmeg, all-purpose flour, and of course you're going to need pie crust. Now I make my own pie crust and it's the same pie crust I use for my pumpkin pie. So if you want to check it out, go to my website at www.laurainthekitchen.com. Click on my pumpkin pie recipe, pumpkin pie video, and there's a recipe for the pie crust right underneath it. But all I've done is I've doubled the amount of the ingredients because I need the top and the bottom because we're going to make a deep dish apple pie. So I have that out of the way. But if you want to make, if you want to make this with store-bought pie crust, go right ahead. It already comes rolled out, so you're good to go. Now I have here some golden delicious apples. I have 6 apples that I have thinly sliced and cored and thinly sliced, and then I just put a little bit of lemon juice over it, about a tablespoon, just to help the apples not turn brown. So first thing you're gonna do, preheat oven 425. Get that out of the way so it's waiting for you. Cut your apples, toss them in the lemon juice, put them aside. Now we're gonna work with our pie crust. Now this is a little bit small. I've cut this purposely so that one's a little smaller than the other. That's a little smaller, that's a little bigger, because the bigger one's going to be the top. And because the apples are going to be a little bit, kind of big, you're going to have a bigger pie crust for the top to cover everything. So, get your 9-inch pie plate, spray it with a little nonstick cooking spray, set it aside. Now we're going to take a little flour. I'm just going to do that. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of flour on the top. And also my rolling pin. Now, when you're working with pie crust, you always want to start from the center out. Just about done. You want to just make sure you keep it rolling. Is this not the best pie crust or what? I mean, it's so easy to handle. Look at that. It's so forgiving. All right. In your pie plate, of course, you want it overhanging because we're going to crimp it together. And you don't want to stretch it, okay? Just work it in, because if you stretch it, it's going to just go back to its normal size. So, okay, do that. We are in. Beautiful. Set it aside till we're ready to top it. Okay, before I roll the other one out, I want to make my filling first. So I have here the apples. Now I use Golden Delicious apples instead of Granny Smith apples. They're sweeter. I like them better, and I can kind of control as far as it's not going to be too sour, because we all know Granny Smiths can be very, very bitter. So I have here about 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar. I'm going to add in some orange zest, just because I love to put orange zest into just about anything this time of year. Then I have here a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and about 1/8 of a teaspoon of nutmeg. That, and then we have 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Now what that's going to do for us, it's going to create a really nice thick sauce to coat the apples as it bakes, because if we don't have the flour in there, what's going to happen is all the juices that come out of the apples, if we don't have the flour in there, all the juices that come out of the apples are going to really make the crust very soggy, and it's not going to stay together when you cut it. I'm going to ditch the spoon and just use my hands to give everything a really good mix. Just about done. Coat everything together. Whoops. Apple overboard. Okay. I'm going to fill this up. Look at that. Oh, it's going to smell so good. Just going to mix the bottom and just pour it with my hands because I want to just cover every nook and cranny. I love the smell, and wait till you see how good your house is going to smell. Now my apples all inside my little pie shell, they're perfect and good, ready to go. Now I'm working on the top of the pie, the second pie crust. And same as before, working from the middle out, just like that. Here we go. We're good to go. Look how perfect that is. Love when things like that happen. They come out just right. This pie crust is so forgiving. Like I said, it's totally foolproof. It works every time. And look at that. No cracks, no tears, nothing. I'm taking a little bit of egg wash. And I'm just going to go around here. I mean, you really don't need to because we're going to crimp this all up. And now we're going to just cut off a lot of excess. You want to leave about an inch, but any more than that you want to cut off because that's going to get tucked in. We have that. Okie doke. Take that excess crust right here. Don't you dare throw that out. Put it in a little plastic baggie, and you can have a little crust for little mini tarts or anything you might need it. Okay, take the top now and right over, just like so. Stick it together. Now, this as well, you want to cut off any excess. Here we go. Save that. Okay, here's how she goes. You take the two, crimp them together, okay, and then tuck them under, like so. Same thing. Take the two, crimp them together, tuck them under. Okay, and then we're going to crimp it. But you want to make sure everything's tucked under. Like so. Okay, we have everything together pretty well. Now take your fingers, let's crimp it. Okay, you can do this however you want. I'm doing like, that's just usually how I do it. We have everything crimped together. Now take a small little knife and we're going to make 4 little slits, little air pockets. Just like so. Isn't she beautiful? Take a little of your egg wash, which is just a beaten egg with some water or milk or cream, whatever you have. And I want you to just go absolutely all over the crust, the waters and everything. Perfect. I have the egg wash on. Now I have here a little cinnamon sugar, which is just a tablespoon of sugar with about a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon in it. And I'm just going to sprinkle all over the top, just like that. Okay, that's absolutely perfect. Now I'm going to take this, put it on a baking sheet that I've lined with aluminum foil, just in case there should be any spillage. And I have this little gadget, which just helps the borders not to turn. If it starts to turn too brown too quickly, I cover with it. If you don't have one of these, you can just use some aluminum foil. Now this is going to go into your preheated oven for, I want to say, about an hour. Check it in about an hour. It should be nice and deep golden brown and crusty. And like I said, check it every 15 minutes or so. If the borders start to get too crispy, too brown, you put a little safety guard on it or some aluminum foil, anything to keep it from getting too dark. All right, in she goes. Now this pie baked for exactly an hour at 425, and as you can see, it's perfect, and I'm dying to cut into it. I'll let it cool for about 15 minutes. Probably should let it cool for another 15 minutes because it just ensures that it's going to stay together better, but I cannot wait any longer. It smells insane in here. So, against my better judgment, I'm going to go ahead and cut a piece of it now because I also want to show you what it looks like. Hi. Look at that. I did lose some of the apple filling because it is too hot to cut, but you know what? It does not matter. Here we go. It doesn't matter. It's all going to go in the same place anyway. To me, this is the beauty of it. It just smells so good. Bit hot though. Oh my god. So good. Sorry, it's so good. Those apples, all the difference. Instead of using Granny Smith, definitely go for the Golden Delicious. And let it wait till it cools about 30 minutes before you cut it. Otherwise, as you can see, it does fall apart, but it's just as delicious. I hope you guys have enjoyed spending time with me. To get this recipe and other recipes, check out my website. It's www.onearmykitchen.com, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.